Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Curbside Podcast. I am your host, Jay Kirby, and welcome back to our running series, Meeting the Menagerie, where we sit down and get to talk to the cast and players of the Dice Hard with a Vengeance D&D campaign, also through the show. And this week, I'm not gonna lie, has been the episode I've been looking forward to the most. I get to sit down with my good buddy George, aka Corallos Abrazar, just the most chaotic, but also the most just life-saving warlock I've ever played with. George, welcome.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
But as always, before we get started, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell in your YouTube app so you never miss an upload. Buy the shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/lostboykirby. And don't forget to check out our sponsors, repsports.com and jerky.pro. Use the promo code curbside8 at checkout for a great deal. I actually have a raise right here from Rep Sports. This is grape bubblegum, zero sugar. It's more grape than it is bubblegum, but it's actually pretty good. So so I always have to give them a shout out.
Of course.
So George, thank you for sitting down with me. It's been a lot of anticipation on my behalf because I keep talking about you in other interviews, and I'm like, I can't wait for this. So we'll start off super easy with, where did the idea for Corallos come up?
Honestly, Corallos is me growing up. Like, his backstory is my backstory, if you will. I just can't do magic.
No deals with interdimensional demons and
not yet.
Not yet.
We'll see. And it ran from there, then finding what class I wanted to be, because I kind of knew what everybody else was doing, sort of. And right. I wanted to go, the magic user. We didn't have too many right there. And warlock just, I don't know, something spoke to me.
I mean, it's worked out. It really has. Sure. So I gotta give you credit as well, because when I did the interview with Taruk, it was kind of your guys' idea to start the campaign. You guys sat down and said, hey, we want to play D&D. And it was the infancy of the show. And I'm just like, hey, I don't have any content on YouTube. You mind if I record? And here we are 2 years later.
Yeah.
What has been some of your favorite Corallos moments?
Man.
Because there's a lot of them. So
yeah,
you can tell me your side of everything of, how did I figure this out? Or, oh no, how did this happen? And why are we here? AK, my fault. And I got to fix this.
Most of the time. A lot of it, I'm going to say, is when we were in Tartarus. Like the first big battle down there with the big spiders, and I just one shot a spider in hell to hell. Like,
yes,
that's amazing. You know what I mean? It was a cantrip on top of it all, and then to follow that up with the Sisyphus battle because of you and Taruk.
Hey. We're just trying to be good people. Sorry.
Not the place, man. Even that, just the cantrip to mold the earth, to direct the ball. It's cool moments like that Tim is huge in allowing us to, do things like that.
Oh yeah. You have definitely messed some plans up just with some cantrips, which is
killer, man.
It's beautiful is what it is. Like,
I mean, there's more too. Like, I wanted to hit the rock with something the second time around before he got to the ship, and it was just like he was on the ship so fast that I didn't get the chance to.
Right.
I was trying to drown the bird, man.
Yo, I was legit trying to hide from it, like Torrin was gonna go inside the boat, and be like, "I'm not here." Da 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 da.
Right.
And then Tim says, and he begins to pick the boat up. He what?
I'm happy nobody went below deck when that happened, because that could have turned out way differently.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did. Torrin might have taken a little bit too much fall damage on that one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness. So what specifically, because I don't think you tell many people you're actually multi-class. You're warlock and sorcerer, right?
Yes.
Where did that idea come? Like, where outside of all of the cantrips, where did the idea for the warlock sorcerer come from for you?
It's honestly like Corallos's end goal, just to soak up as much magical power as possible,
Mhm.
and a little metagaming going with Tiefling, having like the demonic blood made sorcerer an easy choice as opposed to like wizard.
No, that makes sense.
So it's just I'm trying to get as many spells as I can.
Just trying to get all them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm playing in two other games, and one of the characters I have is a bard sorcerer, and he's a dragonborn, because I
Okay.
thought it would make sense for the dragon blood to give him magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
And like 6 cantrips, so
It's huge.
it is.
They come in handy, man.
I've learned exactly how powerful cantrips can be. I'm scared to see what you can do with higher level spells. Good lord.
I mean, that is the trade-off, though. I don't get too many higher level spells. I mean, right now with the dip into sorcerer, I think the max I can get is 7.
I mean,
and I only get one of those on the warlock scale. I only get one at that point. I get 1 6 and 1 7. So the bulk will be 5th level spells.
I mean, those can come in handy sometimes,
Oh, for sure.
So you and I have talked about this off camera before, but how did the evolution of Corallos happen? Because I know when you first started, you were the very quiet, kind of shady, just the warlock. Then you started getting a little bit sticky fingered, and a lot of us are going, "Oh dear God, don't do it! Don't!" Nope, he picked up. All right.
Yep.
And now you've started gaining more like illusions, specifically pulling out that hypnotic pattern during our big Rakshasa fight. Where did this changing of how this evolution, we'll call it, of Corallos go?
I mean, I started out literally, I was just gonna steal and whatever I could to get the magical stuff. That's why, like, it just reminded me the moment we were in the magic store and I stole the wand of the war mage.
Yes.
With the mage hand up under the cloak. Tim's face was gold for that. But then it's just, honestly, my patrons have had a lot of influence on my spell selections. So I started heavy illusion magic, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't taken. And then I made the jump over and I started go with Shroud, and I started going heavier under the shadow magics. And now with Mina, it's more charms and things. That's where I get the hypnotic pattern and stuff like that. So everything is just based on who my patron is at the time, kind of like a tip of the hat, thanks for the power kind of thing.
Right. And here's the question I've been waiting since the first interview. How many times can you sell your soul?
At least 3. Well,
yeah,
I don't
Corallos
know.
is, if we ever get the chance to use wish in this campaign, Corallos' wish is going to be, I need a lawyer.
For real. But then if you want to get technical, I sold my soul to my first patron, who we won't name right now because campaign.
Right.
And then Shroud's more like Venom. Not really selling the soul there.
Right.
just the attachment thing. So now I don't have Shroud. There's no connection there.
Right.
And he's right there. I know he's on that island. I want to go get him.
We gotta go get him.
Right. And then Mina, I don't really know if there was a soul exchange with her. That was more desperation. I need help, and she helped.
So, whose idea was it to make a deal with Mina? Because like you just, hey, I'm gonna go talk to a person real fast. And we're like, all right, we'll talk to you later. And then metagaming, you shut the door and you're like, Mina, hey, can I have some magic? And then all the players are like,
What is happening?
what's he doing? What is he? What the? And then she transformed. And we're like, what is going on?
Oh, which was huge to the story because of the 5. So
story, we were all mind blown. We're like screaming. Oh my goodness. That
I gotta give credit to Tim, DM Tim. We were spitballing because I really didn't know what to do. I had put so much time into the partnership with Shroud. Like I made a whole other patron class for Shroud.
Right.
So there was a lot, and then he's gone. Like literally the week before we played and I lost Shroud was the week I finished putting that class together. And it's like, what do I do?
So you homebrewed your own patron.
Yes.
Out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never used it, but I had it there. Just it was cool, something to do.
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, hell, 2 or 3 of my favorite characters are a homebrewed class. From Critical Role because Blood Hunter. I love Chetney in CR3 because he's just ridiculous. But Blood Hunter is not an official freaking class. It's just something that Matt Mercer created. So you've created a patron class because I always thought you just had I thought you kind of just flavored a hex blade into a cloak.
Oh no. DM Tim didn't even know I was doing this originally. I was just picking and choosing like shadow based skills and things to plug in at the certain levels and stuff.
No, that's awesome.
That was cool.
I've been sitting here trying to go, if I could create my own class, what would it be like? And I haven't come up with anything. So that you've come up with your own patron class. And Tim's allowed it because Tim goes through everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes.
Being okay, this isn't them mid-maxing. This is something kind of fun for them to do.
Sure.
It's too perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also, I was just gonna say the fact that Shroud worked out is amazing because I remember when we found Shroud. And it was terrifying because we open a sarcophagus in a cave and we find a cloak. I go, no, hell no. Not today, Satan. That cloak is 100% evil. Look at it. It's in a coffin in a cave. Bye. And you go, I pick it up. What?
Magical.
Yeah.
That was at the time. You got to remember, Corallos is a young kid. Like I knew it was magic and I wanted it. That was it. That's all I needed.
Because that's not going to come back to the play.
I mean, it's worked out so far. The fact that I've kept his sentience a secret this long
is very impressive.
It's been hard, man.
I bet. I'm waiting. You and I have joked. I'm waiting for someone else to accidentally put on Shroud and be like, "Look, I'm Corallos," and then Shroud talks to them and just be like, "Ah."
I'm interested what happens if we do get to that island and do run into that group again. Are they going to say anything? You know what I mean? Because the little guy that's wearing it, he's got to know by now.
Oh, yeah. He definitely has to know.
He's getting silenced.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting turn of events.
For sure.
So I have to say, one of my favorite things from the campaign, and ironic, and it kind of comes back to the evolution of Corallos and evolution of you as a player, is how comfortable you've become with RP since we first started, and how good you are at RPing certain things. Because I remember specifically, and this is, kind of how you both of our characters have evolved. Um, I remember in early sessions, like 2 and 3, you didn't talk much, and
No.
that's okay. Some people don't talk much, but I'm like, I really want everyone to be involved. So I randomly, whenever anything happened, would just go, "What do you think, Corallos?"
Yep.
And the first time I did it, the look of like shock and fear
Like,
on
what
your
are you
face.
doing right now?
What? Someone said something to me. Yeah, that sounds good. Like that's all the more it was. And then I slowly just started doing it more so that you could become more comfortable. And then it turns out that Torrin and Corrales are almost best friends now.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's great. It's definitely blossomed into a great, character relationship
Oh
in the
yeah.
game.
Which I find the most interesting because it's the warlock sorcerer being best friends with the paladin fighter. Which
I mean, opposites attract, right? I
oh,
guess.
absolutely. I can't see this ever having any kind of ramifications in the future.
No, why? How? What? Maybe I can make a patron out of your palette,
Torrens act ends up being the shroud.
Yes, that's see, this is what I'm talking about. How does this go wrong?
But how, even though I kind of forced you in it, how have you felt as far as your playing your RP has gone since, episodes 2 and 3?
I mean, even as Corallos has changed, I know I have. I've gotten more comfortable. I mean, I had just met most of the group
Yeah.
when we started. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So it was like all new people, and I just know I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna cast my spells, and that's that, you know. But then just playing and getting more comfortable, and then the joking around and everything, it just falls into place, and here we are.
Absolutely. I see. I've never like asked you about that, and I don't think is what was that like coming into a table where you literally only knew one person? Because me, when I like, because I don't even want to take credit for forming this ragtag group. It was y'all's idea. I was just like, okay, I know this guy who plays, and this person's interested, and it like kind of formed into a group. And then, one or two people got added in, and then it just became this. I don't even want to use the word cohesive because we're all idiots and keep getting ourselves in more trouble than it's worth. But like,
But we get out of it.
we do. We do. But like, what was it like going into a completely just, almost brand new table full of people that I mean, honestly, I don't think you've met half of us in person. Like,
No,
what
in
was that
person,
like?
I've met you and obviously Tim Taruk,
Right.
but that's it. I mean, Draco, we played some Grand Theft Auto a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's not meeting them. I don't know, it was really weird at first because it's this group of people, but then you've got the fallback factor of, well, it's D&D. Like, I really want to play D&D, and I'm not. It's almost like I'm not George in there. You know what I mean? You're falling into the character, and you escape real life for a little while. That's the beauty of it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, there's definitely times where I forget to call you George. I call you Corrales.
Oh, all the time.
Like I'm not even in a D&D setting. I'm like on Xbox talking to him. I go, yeah, and then Corrales was doing this, and I was like, oh no, George was doing this. Like it's 100% a thing where you become. Well, Joe said it in his interview. You become someone else, and that's
Yeah,
kind of the beauty of D&D is you can be someone else.
absolutely.
Uh, he had, I don't want to call it a spiel because that kind of devalues his way of thinking, but like he had a really fine point during our interview where he goes, literally D&D allows you, I want to be, and there's someone out there that can make this. I want to be Han Solo. I want to be, you know, the uh freaking Olive, perfect example. I want to be Anara in D&D. Like that's what it boils down to. I want to do this, and someone somehow can figure out how to make it work.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I think it's been a testament to some of our players, and Tim, our awesome DM.
Oh, yeah, a lot of it going back to Mina becoming, my patron or whatever. That was him. Like, he threw that out there in a list of other ideas for what to do with Corallos. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. She just threatened my life. Now let's make her give me powers. Like, that's great.
Oh my goodness.
But even Joe, like, he's just out there with some of the stuff he comes up with in the game, in the moment. I don't know where it comes from.
Oh man, that's Joe. That's how Joe's
Right.
brain works. Like, if you think of like a right, like, let's say mine and Torrin's brain, because let's be honest, my wisdom may be 9 and Torrin's is 8. There ain't much difference in each character. There's some bleed off there. If Torrin's brain works like a hamster running on a wheel, Joe's is like a Ferrari on the same wheel. It's just spinning constantly.
Yeah. Like when we were in the middle of the ocean and there's the magic tower, and he's like, all right, we're gonna do this and slice it here when I hit it with the lightning to do. I'm like, how does he know this stuff? Like, just off the top of his head, man.
Oh no, he was just rolling. He's like, I think this will work.
And it does. Like,
Yeah.
that's the crazy part. He can just make the wildest stuff just make just enough sense that we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then it happens. It's great.
It's worked. Hey, we're gonna like force this boulder to roll on this guy, and then we're gonna fake his voice and trick him into keeping this.
Where do you come from? Right.
I'm sitting here going, how the hell do I let go of this boulder? I don't know what I'm doing. And
well, you
couldn't.
That's what that was your boulder then.
And that's what he came up with. I was like, oh my God, that's genius.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. That spur of the moment. Like, that was huge right then. That really saved you and Taruk. Like, that plan right there.
I mean, speaking of saving, we can't disregard the fact that you pulling off the amazing first use ever, by the way, of hypnotic pattern during the Rakshasa fight. Like, if you hadn't used that spell, we would have had to fight those golems, and we would not have. We would have lost the Rakshasa fight, because we would have spent, just like the first time, we would have spent all our time fighting those damn Nothics.
Yep. That's what I was worried about.
Instead of focus on the Rakshasa, and it just somehow it worked. It just
even
perfect.
that's a gameplay experience, I guess. I knew I couldn't touch the Rakshasa from the first fight, so I'm not even going to try it. I'm going for everything else.
Right.
But I also don't want to be the stereotypical warlock that just blasts Eldritch Blast every round. I can throw out a lot of them, but I don't want to be that,
We're not gonna pull a Ford and just Eldritch Blast every time.
Like, I mean, it helps sometimes.
It does,
especially
100%.
the magic items I got after losing Shroud that Mina gave me just to help me, because we were in the middle of a war.
Yeah,
I can throw out, I think, like 4 blasts around, something like that. And if I get Hex, they're all at plus 2d6. Like, it's a lot of damage all at once.
Oh yeah.
But then that's literally all I'm going to be doing with a spell list. I've got, like, I don't know, 20 something spells, counting cantrips, or more than that, maybe. It's nuts.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not that, I mean, I don't think you've ever just overused a spell. You're not. I cast Eldritch Blast. It's not the running wizard joke of, I don't care how big the room is, I cast fire.
Right.
You don't do that. You are this sneaky little strategic genius when it comes to using Eldritch Blast. But I will say, watching you and learning like, oh, I'm gonna use Hex first, then Eldritch Blast, then like it's something to watch. And honestly, it's helped me learn like certain. I think the one thing that I've really picked up on, at least from Dice Hard and from being in other campaigns, is just watching how different people play and how different people use different classes.
Yeah.
That it's helped me understand how certain things work. Like when you first used Hex, I didn't know what Hex was. I'd never heard that. I'd never seen it. And then like you explained it, and then I started to see it used other places. I was like, okay, so if you could use Hex to do this, and then I can do this on my turn, it's like this perfect little system we have almost.
That exactly that, and it comes from the time played together where it's like now I've got a good idea of what you can do, what Taruk can do, and
Yep.
be, and it's matching all that up. So, like, I'll be honest, when we're rolling initiative, I write down the order so I know who's coming behind me, and I know, it seems like every time we get in somewhere, I hex something and Taruk goes and grabs it.
Well, yeah,
but it works.
That's works. That's strategy, is what that is. A lot of people don't think of that, and I kind of feel bad. In one of my other campaigns that I play, I've told you about it, and I've talked about it in other interviews. I have Quincy the Artificer, and I've almost gotten tired of using this spell, but it's worked. Is first round cast Fairy Fire because it gives advantage on attacks.
Yep.
And I have a party with a monk, a paladin, and a barbarian. Why am I not going to use Fairy Fire to give those three advantage when they're hitting 3 or 4 times a turn?
Right. I think that's the huge mind game. I think you will, if with the warlocks and the spellcasters, it's you want the big moment, you know what I mean, where you like mold earth and roll the ball down a Sisyphus, those cool moments. You're not going to do that alone,
right?
Like, and that's where you start. Okay, I got to start working with everybody else. I can't. We're in a group for a reason. This isn't a solo adventure in a party lobby. You know what I mean? So it's playing the spells off of everybody else is, I guess, my goal when we're in there. I'm not trying to use them just to get that moment. I'm trying to get the moment while helping everybody else,
Right. I think you've done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Like, because I know that me and Tim have both like originally especially with me, like I didn't create Torrin as good boy golden retriever energy. Torrin was supposed to be an asshole. He was supposed to be Han Solo with a mace. He was supposed to swing first, ask questions later.
Right.
Well, after the party got into a fight the first time, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can't just fly off the rails every turn. That's when he started developing into what he is now, which is, okay, are you sure you want to fight? Because like we don't have, okay, we're fighting now.
Right.
So learning to work with other players and learn, strengths and weaknesses really does come in handy, and really is kind of it's different because everyone, or at least most of us nerds, play RPGs. We're very used to, okay, I am the Dragonborn, I am the Geralt of Rivia, I'm going to go do this thing myself. Can't do that in TNT. You are gonna learn very quick that maybe a party could come in handy.
I mean, nothing ever good happens when we split off from.
No, it doesn't.
It never goes well.
Oh my god!
I mean, how many times has V almost died?
Too many. Too many times.
Come back! Stop running off.
Stop running off. Just trust this band of idiots to help you.
But even that, I don't. As much as I don't think she should run off,
right?
I think she should, because that's V. You know what I mean?
100%. That's what the character is going to
exactly.
Do. And that's not one of those, it's what the character would do kind of things. That's that's the character. Is I don't trust this group of people that have constantly protected me, but
keep going.
but I need them. And so that's kind of what kept her around. And Olive went into that in her interview. So thinking of all this stuff, it reminded me of something that everyone has seen Corallos. They've seen what Corallos can do. What I love to talk about, because we're still not done with this campaign, there is still plenty more to go through. I want to talk about me and George's conversations after every damn session of what is going on, what's going to happen next week. You've become, ironically, Torrin and Corallos have become best friends. You and I become friends because, hey, I have a theory. And then we just go for hours.
Yes. Yeah, it's where we get off the stream, somewhere around 11, and then it's usually me, you, and DM Tim will stay on Zoom till what, midnight, sometimes 1.
Oh yeah,
just talking about the campaign. But I think that's what's made the campaign fun, because we're throwing these ideas out there, and Tim is taking notes down.
Oh yeah,
that's why I refuse to talk about anything important that we're trying to do or anything in front of him. It will not in the group chat, not anywhere, because he's always, the gears are turning.
I mean,
he's going to use it.
That's why we have a second group chat.
Right.
We have a whole chat I think I've talked about it in the other interviews, but we have a whole group chat that DM Tim is not in, so that we can talk about what is going on without him going, oh, this is what they think. Maybe they should go left at the next, fork in the road.
Exactly. And yes, I will yell at people if they talk in the Tim chat, because don't do that.
That man knows.
Okay. He knows everything. We don't need to give him more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's his world. We're just playing in it. Don't give him reasons to hurt us.
Right.
I do that enough. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's stop giving him reasons to throw chain devils and chain ghosts at us.
Right. I'm so sorry, by the way.
Those have been honestly, as infuriating as Torrin gets when a chain devil shows up. Jay loves it, because that the chain devil showing up at the light led into probably the coolest moment in the whole campaign, the chandelier.
Yeah.
So and then
he doesn't show up, that doesn't happen.
Exactly. Then there's the whole fight on the boat where Corallos and it's been a while, so I don't remember. Did Corallos save Owen, or did Owen save Corallos?
No, Owen saved me.
Owen saved Corallos.
I almost went overboard, and he kept me on the ship. That's why when we were all still going in the hole, do we trust him? Do we not?
Yep. And
he just saved me. I trust him now.
And without that, maybe you don't vouch for him. Maybe we don't keep Owen around. Maybe we all just jump him like the JoJo meme. Be like, all right, we're gonna take this guy out.
Well, yeah, because he shows up out of nowhere, knows way too much about Hector. I almost called him.
Oh, yeah, Hector too.
Jeez. And it's how do you know who he is?
Right.
And he's not answering. So it's I kind of like you because you're shady, but I don't know about you. And then he saved me, and that was over. All right, if he wanted to kill us, why would he drop, just put me in the ocean?
Right.
Just let me go.
Oh no, he fell.
Exactly. It's easy enough to explain in that situation. So the fact that he saved me, I was all right, he's not going to kill me now. We're cool.
Oh yeah. No, Torrin's whole problem with him was too many people have showed up that are too good to be true and end up not being true. So I'm not, fool me once. This is the third time.
I mean, Tawny wasn't that bad.
Oh, Tawny's gonna. Okay, so I did talk about this in another interview. The player, I love Tawny. I want Tawny to show up in every campaign that I'm in. Hell, I'm stealing Tawny for a campaign that I'm gonna DM.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna show up and he's definitely gonna make someone's day miserable. Torrin
Sounds right.
is gonna kill Tawny. He is just gonna on site just I attack. What? I said I attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Pow. Torrin's gonna kill Tawny. I love Tawny as a player though.
Oh,
It's
he was great. It's as much as Corallos and me both personally hated that damn chicken Taruk.
oh, you mean
What a moment.
I'm still trying to get those made, by the way. I might have some. I might have a connection somewhere. So keep an eye
Oh,
out for
man.
plushy chicken Taruk.
Yes,
Oh my god.
I will burn it, but I will get one.
Oh my goodness. No, Tawny had. Oh my goodness. So okay, I have a question about that because I've talked about it with too many people. Is there any outside of Tawny? Is there any character that Corallos hates, but George loves whenever they show up?
Oh, Medea.
Oh,
Yeah, stole all of my gear with a stupid playing card. Yeah, I hate your face. But Joe, I mean, it's a cool character.
oh yeah.
Great to have in the story. But Corrales, no, Corrales absolutely hates her because he doesn't understand what happened. I
Mhm.
picked up a card and lost my gear. Like she did that. As far as I'm concerned,
Right.
that was her. And I'm gonna roll with that. But who else? Who else? There's been so many. I mean, the magic vendor guy, the crazy
The
old guy,
crazy old
he's a
man.
blast. Yeah.
Never a dull moment in that shop.
No, we don't steal everything.
You're right. We don't.
All right. uh, who else? I mean, that I hate or Corrales hates?
Well, you as a player, you love when they show up, but Corrallos, if he sees them, the Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, I mean, honestly, for a while, that was Mina just because of the thinly veiled threat.
Oh,
I just,
thinly.
well, yeah, Corrales didn't want to be there because what is she going to do?
Right.
I didn't know that. So it was like, I don't want to be here anymore, but that's base. So we're going back to the light. I'm going to have to see her. That's why it was always like, Madam, hey, I'm just going to be over here.
Freaking poor Torrin's the same way. I feel like it went from him just being some schmuck that didn't pay his tab to this guy is not good enough for my favorite person and I hope he dies. Which is why she still hates Torrin to this day.
Yeah, but oh man, does she hate Torrin or is it a protective?
Oh,
like
it's definitely
motherly
protective.
thing? You know what I mean?
That's we'll put that in the list of theories.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my goodness, I can't.
Throw it in one of my notebooks.
Right. Okay, so going back to the theories, what's your current running theory for the campaign? What's gonna happen, next?
I mean, we've got. Oh, I would have pulled my notes out if I knew about this, man. What is she? I don't want to say ranger. The woman on the island that we're on that we're supposed to go
Yes.
meet up.
Yep.
If I can, like, spoiler alert, I think she's part of the 5.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. I almost forgot about her. Like her being part of the 5 would be crazy.
If I'm remembering right, that would be Sapphire, which is also, a shorter hunter, I believe is what the description was. So I'm hoping, well, I'm kind of piecing together as we go, but I think she's part of the 5. So we now know 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 confirmed. Well, 2 confirmed.
Yes.
Don't know about the third is a possibility.
Yes. And then I've got theories out there that
Please.
the dragonborn that Sephiroth was talking to before the
Ooh.
first Rakshasa fight,
Right.
I think that is the shadow.
Ooh, that would be heartbreaking.
Yep. And then the healer on the ship that healed Hector
Mhm.
after
The the old man. Or no, sorry. It was a lady cleric, wasn't it?
yeah, little halfling cleric,
Yeah,
yes.
the
I think
halfling cleric.
she is also part of the five.
Ooh, okay,
Just
okay.
because with Tim's words, right? I don't think he's ever saying anything that's not important.
Right, because he's not.
And right. Well, you had Belden and the other healer putting Mitigast at the time back together, if you will,
Right.
exhausts both of them. This little halfling comes over, heals Hector. He's cool now, and she's fine. Like she's not doesn't have to rest or anything. So there's something going on there. I just haven't figured it out.
Okay, okay. I like that theory. I really like that theory. My theory is that the shadow, the dragonborn of the five, I think that's Shroud. I think I think the cloak itself belonged to Shroud. His punishment was to be put in the sarcophagus because it's been 600 years.
Yeah, timeline matches
Yeah.
up for sure.
He gets put in there, decays because dragonborns only live, I think 120 is like the oldest they get, and that's like some Gandalf, Dumbledore kind of old.
Right.
Um, decays, but before he does, puts his spirit into the shroud, and then becomes
Almost
yeah
trapped in.
yeah
I mean,
um like putting using a Skyrim reference here, putting a soul in a soul gem, puts his spirit into the shroud.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he said this the whole story from Merzagog was that the oh man, what was it? He was keeping the king alive with some dark magics, and then once they didn't need him anymore, they threw him in the cloak and imprisoned him in there. But if you were strong enough that you were keeping the king alive, you just get put in the cloak, or did you put yourself in the cloak? Like that
Right.
makes sense.
Well, I mean, let's look at it. Mina goes into hiding. Hector gets thrown into another dimension.
Yeah.
Who's to say that they didn't imprison the shadow inside of the shroud?
No, absolutely. It could. It makes complete sense, and that's why. I mean, we have the code as his S,
Yeah.
so it could. Yeah, I'm with it.
That's my theory. I know I'm gonna be wrong, but that's my theory. And I really hope I'm really excited to see if we get the other, we'll call it 2.5 members of the five to show back up.
I hope so. I'd be cool to put them all together. I mean, I have pages of notes, just little references here and there that could be,
Right.
might be connected. It would be cool to see them. Probably not all together, but maybe four of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That'd be interesting. We've already had Hector and Mina this close.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to happen like when we come back. Like Mina and Hector in the same room at the same time because we're going to the wedding.
Right. Like this is
Yeah,
got
that's not gonna be awkward at all. I promise.
I mean, it could go really
Oh yeah,
wrong
horribly
too.
wrong. Nothing at this wedding is gonna go good. Which I think a character trait that I think, oh, excuse me, really funny is that Mina doesn't like Torrin at all. No spoilers there. But
Right.
Torrin is ecstatic for Rail and wants to be like the best man. Like he's so happy for this while it's still Mina.
Right. And that's hard for me because I'm the only one in the party who knows what Mina really is. So
And
it's
that's
like,
another theory.
I don't want to not be happy for Rel, but it's like, but succubus, dude, like, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Right.
I remember our theory was that Mina had charmed Rail into doing it. I quickly, after like one episode, redacted that theory. I was like, no, Rail's just a guy who wants to make this woman happy. He's just like, I don't know anything about this wedding. She's planning it. Whatever makes her happy, we'll do.
Which is also scary. Like, what's going to happen at this wedding?
Oh, I'm terrified of what's going to happen at this wedding. But just the fact that, it went from, oh no, what happened to Rail to, oh no, Rail's just being a guy.
It's it's Rel. It's just who he's been this whole time.
Right.
Leave me alone. Go work out. I'm going over here. Like, that's Rel Kane, man.
Oh, love it. So I'll wind this down with another. I guess I should have asked this at the beginning, but I didn't come to mind. Where did your D&D I coined this phrase in another interview. Where did your D&D origin story begin? Like what got you into this wonderful game?
Honestly, it would be Taruk Tim. We played way back. We were 14, 15, something, playing 3.5.
Yep.
And we played what was it called? Black Sails Over Freeport, I think was the campaign name. And in there, we were completely different characters back then. Like, I had a ranger. I was seventh level ranger, and I multi-classed into wizard of all things because right, the face, everything has to make sense for me now, where like directions I go and things.
Yeah. Well,
back then it was just like I want to cast spells and shoot an arrow. You know what I mean? Like, who cares what it means? I'm doing both.
I mean, that I get it. That's oh, bless you.
Thank you.
That I get that, I think I can't even remember what edition I first played. I think I like homebrewed a paladin when 3.5 was I'm trying to remember the year, so I apologize. I think I like homebrewed a paladin in like 2010, and that was like the first time ever, but like the first time actually sitting down and playing through D&D was 5th edition for me. And I want to say I played a ranger. No, I played a rogue. Played a dark elf rogue.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
So we know a little bit about the beginning, now the current. What's in the future for Corallos and for you? Like, I've asked everyone campaign 2, what is something you'd be looking into playing?
For campaign 2, I'm thinking like a fallen cleric, if you will, turned rogue.
Okay.
But not evil. Okay. I'm just expediting the delivery of souls to my deity.
That's fair.
That's the plan for that there. As far as Corallos, man, I've discussed some things with Tim.
I know those things. You don't have to say them here, but
Yeah, but they don't know these things. No, we can. It's just something I was watching YouTube shorts, and one of the creators on there was talking about D&D and had a video on arc liches.
Ooh.
And yeah, it kind of caught me. I've never really had an end goal with Corallos, where like Torrin's got his petrified family to fix.
Right.
Taruk's got his sister out there, God knows where. You know, everybody had something, and Corrales was just like, I got some patrons. There was no real goal for me going for anything. And then I came across that and I shot a message to Tim instantly, like, what about an Arclich? And he was like, oh, we can run with that. Like, he's the guy to put things together with that. We're actually supposed to be sitting down to talk about that in a couple days, just because there's really no plans. It's just, I want to do this, and this is why. And
yeah,
it all goes back to, of course, wanting to be more magically powerful.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want the evil, giving up souls to. I'll give up my soul. I'm not going to give up everybody else's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You'll sell yours. You're not bartering anyone else's.
Right. But now it's just trying to figure out what Corallos has to give up, to become that lich. And I've got an idea. I got to see where Tim rolls with it.
All right.
Maybe dropping some stats permanently. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's not your charisma stat.
No, I'll never touch that. No, not that one. That strength stat, that can go. I got Torrin and Taruk for that.
Right? Now I'm just imagining an archlich being best friends with a paladin.
Paladin, right? It just makes absolute zero sense, but we'll make
beautiful.
It work.
Oh yeah, always. Well, George, I appreciate you sitting down with me. I appreciate you talking. I've looked forward to hearing your side of the Corallos story for quite some time, and at least putting it out to the people. Thank you again. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being part of the group, and thank you for sitting down with me.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Thank you for everything you do with the show. I mean, without you, we wouldn't be where we are. So
I try.
Yeah.
But
and huge thanks to Tim for DMing, because we are a wild group of people to attempt to keep on track.
I'm surprised this man hasn't put like a Tylenol or Advil CEO's kid through college with as much headaches as we give him. Oh my goodness.
For sure. And not even just in game, it's all the outside of the game where it's like, I'll just come up with some idea and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And then exactly, I know he's doing that. He won't message that because he's just a wonderful guy, but I'm sure he's just face palm. Just what is he doing now?
Oh God. He wants to do what? Sure. Let's see what happens.
But he's good with that because he just makes it all flow, man.
Oh yeah. I know I've sucked up to him on stream before, and I've done it in a couple interviews, but Tim's an awesome DM.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be here without him, which I really, really hope I get a chance to sit down and do one of these interviews with him before, because I don't know if I said before at the beginning of this video, I know I said it for the other interviews. This is kind of leading up to a Dice Hard After Dark special where we're going to go live and we're going to just sit around talking about the campaign and how things have gone off the rails since day one. So like...
off the rails, never off course.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I always say, the train's off the track, might as well blow the whistle.
There you go.
But George, thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for being a wonderful Corallos Abrazar, future Archlich.
Yes. One can hope.
Hopefully, your 3 patrons don't catch up to you and demand your lunch money.
I don't have a lot of money right now. They can take it, man.
and if so, at least you'll have a very large dragonborn to stand in the way.
That's it.
But thank you for joining me, and thank you everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate you watching and listening to us. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss an upload, and buy the shirts at prowrestlingtees.com. We see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.